Hello, people of Earth. It's your pal, the Orbital Outcast, Rad Gnarly, coming your way with another low-key broadcast. Tonight, we're presenting the 6th and final Trios Tournament of Terror in Fire Pro Wrestling World. But first, I'd like to say hello to everyone in chat or checking us out on VOD. No matter where or when you happen to be in this great big old world of ours, we're happy to have you with us, and we hope that it finds you well. Alright, so, as I said, it is the final Trios Tournament of Terror, and I thought it only fitting that we spend a little time in the GWA Event Center, talking the Trios Tourney of Terror. Now, in previous years... Oh, hello, Kate. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening. We're about to go over the rules of this year's Trios Tournament of Terror. Now, in previous years, the winners of the last year's tournament have heavy influence over the rule structure of the next year's tournament, as they are going in defending champions. In light of the fact that this is the final Trios Tournament of Terror, and with the utter dominance of the stable of the Squared Circle K over the course of the 5 previous Trios Tournament of Terrors, winning like 3 to 5 times. Anyway, we have compromised and sort of gotten a rule set together with suggestion from the reigning champs, but also final word was given to the GWA Board of Directors. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the rules for this year's Trios Tournament of Terror. The first rule is that the ropes are going to be replaced with barbed wire. I believe there also might be barbed wire boards outside of the ring as well. Rule number 2, I hope this works. I literally set this up during the countdown with seconds to spare. Rule number 2, we're going to feature an exploding ring. So at the 30-minute mark, if the match has not yet determined a winner, all of the explosives outside of the ring are going to go off. And whoever's left standing, if anyone is left standing, will be declared the winner. And the third and final rule, how do they win the match before that 30-minute timer goes off and the ring blows up? Pinfalls only. Now, this is the huge change to the rule set, as in the couple previous seasons or years, the tournaments had a submission-only stipulation that heavily favored two-time tournament MVP Kairi Sane, who is once again defending her third of the Trios Championship tonight. So instead of a submission only, it's now pinfall only. You must pin somebody's shoulders to the mat for a count of 3 before the 30-minute timer goes off, and all heck breaks loose. Now, there's some other minor rules in there, such as, I believe I'm going to put in 3 weapons in the ring, so on and so forth, just so they have something to fight over. But that takes us to our planning stages here. Now, I've already addressed some roster concerns in terms of salary. I don't want to say demands. They're just sort of like locker room rumblings that so-and-so isn't happy with their pay. So this guy boosts everybody's pay. That complains, like, baby raises, but let's just keep the talent base happy. It's not like we don't have millions and millions of dollars, and we're paying them, like, on average. I think the new low average is $6,000 a show, so $6,000 a month. Not bad, 72 a year, but that's sort of the base rate, and goes up from there. I think our highest paid individual makes like 20 something per show. Anywho, we are going to go ahead and book ourselves an event, because we don't have to bring anybody in for this one. This is entirely inside our company. Last year we did have a trios come in from All Japan Pro Wrestling, and we were very lucky that all 3 of them showed up for work for that. I think it took me a couple tries, but they all showed up. We're going to go ahead and book a tournament, and as I said, it is going to be a barbed wire death match. So barbed wire instead of ropes, and I believe exploding barbed wire boards outside the ring. And those barbed wire boards are also going to explode after a 30-minute countdown. Okay, so let me lower the number of weapons to 3. There's going to be 6 people in the match. It's obviously a tornado tag team match, which means all 6 participants in the ring. You can't really get out. It's not really lumberjack. It's automatically, I think, you roll back in. Anyway, all the explosives go off there. Oh, let me just change this to pinfall only. That's it. There's no time limit on the matches themselves. There are also no criticals, so no one can get knocked out. Like, the match cannot be stopped for injury, because there will be no guaranteed injury if, like, it's not a guaranteed injury if somebody gets crit, but it's not a good situation. So we turn those off for the deathmatch tournament to try to give ourselves a bit of a break coming out of it, because we still have 2 more shows to produce after. But the 8 teams involved, 2 of these 8 teams are going to have to participate in 3 of these death matches in a single evening if they want to claim the championship and all that goes with it. So here we go, Okada, so on and so forth. Let me swap them. Can I put them down here? Yeah, we'll put the champs in slot number 8 there. Okay, let me check my notes. We have eliminated a couple of stables, and we have some left over. So hang on one second. I totally flipped my own bracket here. Is the easy thing to do to merely delete Okada and put his teams elsewhere? Yes. Is what I'm doing much more complicated theoretically, but still accomplishes the same goal? Also yes. Alright, silly boy. So Okada, Kairi Sane, and Keith Lee are the number 8 entry. Let me take a look at... Okay, so the Heartbreakers won their right to be in the tournament, so let's put them in entry number 1. And it's all heavy hitters, because this is, like I said, this is the last tourney. This is going to be the last chance. Oh, we're not swapping. We're actually just putting some wrestlers in here. Last chance for everybody in this one. So, doesn't matter who starts. Everyone's in the ring at the same time. Let's get ourselves... Oh yeah, Raven retired, so we don't have a leader for the House of Misery anymore. I don't even know if it's going to remain the House of Misery, or I might promote Taz to leadership and then have him recruit somebody for the shows that remain. Okay, the Heartbreakers. Yeah, again, heavy hitters this time. Hold nothing back. This is the biggest tournament, biggest and only tournament of the year, so. Sure. Heels wearing white. You love to see it in a deathmatch tournament. I mean, Scott Hall doesn't have too much white gear, but that's close enough. So the Heartbreakers there. Slot number 1. I don't know that we're going to get away with 20 bucks a head in this 65,000 seater. So let's put it down to 10 and see if we can fill this thing out first. See what's up. Let me just take a quick look. The other stable. I'm going to put the 2 other stables in a bracket to themselves. So should they both get past the first round into the semis against one another, the other stable that qualified due to winning a matchup was the Black Moon Fight Club, who again are going to bust out the heavy hitters for this one. So Sting, the leader, going to be involved. Bison Smith, one half of the tag team champions, going to be involved, and so is his tag team champion partner Luna Vachon, who's finally feeling well enough. We didn't even really take it all that easy on her, but she gave her a month off, healed herself after that tournament win that resulted in the tag team title shot in the first place, gutted it out, and wouldn't you know it, they won the belts. So now they have a chance to help their stable further. Perhaps Sting can climb back into the championship seat for the final show of the year. All right, so those are the 3 stables that qualified. Of the 5, the other 2 were eliminated from competition, and in fact, one is very much in flux as the House of Misery lost their leader in Raven because he retired on them. But we now have to fill out the remaining positions. Now, I'm thinking the eternal rivalry must continue in an unexpected way, as at one point in the history of this company, Bret Hart, as you see, currently a double champion, the DDT champion, and 1/3 of the Impact Trios champions, is for one night only, for their last chance at glory, reuniting with Brody Lee. Let's put him in some fun gear. Oh, also in some gold. And Will Hobbs to put the standard back together. Hobbs and Bret still championship partners on that Impact Trios team. I'm going to go with this one because it's got a bit of gold in it, and so does the Bret Hart and the Brody Lee outfits as well, so they got a little of that gold threading, sort of putting their team together. So once again, Sean v. Bret. So for one night only, the standard unofficially reuniting, as we had a limit on number of stables. So for the first time in literal years within this wrestling universe, the standard back together to face the Heartbreakers. Okay. Sting, big babyface team. We do have some previous associations. So the one I'm thinking of is going to face Sting and the Black Moon Fight Club, who's going to have to get through Misawa and his 2 proteges, CM Punk and Jon Moxley. Dresses for serious. Even though this is a death match, he dresses for serious and wears his tights because it impresses Misawa. So there. One half of the bracket done, and wouldn't you know it, we've filled about half of the space with the $10 tickets. We charge more to sit in the splash zone. I'm just kidding. Nobody's blood flies that far. We keep the audience well away from the exploding ring for safety reasons and insurance, obviously. So, Okada, Kairi Sane, Keith Lee, Who is going to face those? Oh, you know who inspired this entire run by Kazuchika Okada and like his upward trajectory? It was when Minoru Suzuki mocked him for taking over the Squared Circle K faction in the first place when Keiji Muto retired. So we're going to put Minoru Suzuki on a team opposite Okada, and he's going to want to team with someone that's going to be a good submission match for Kairi Sane, even though submissions aren't legal, but to help neutralize Kairi Sane, we'll go Serena Deeb. That's a good match. And against Keith Lee. Now, this is a bit of a wild card because I'm trying to keep two non-stable members. I'm trying to... I think I like that. I think I like that just fine. Well, hang on. Countering Keith Lee. Yeah, I'm going to go a weird way with it. I'm going to try to counter Keith Lee with Hiromu Takahashi. Just as that sort of wild card influence. And yes, I know that Keith Lee could easily probably pick this guy up and throw him, but I think he'll surprise you. I think Minoru Suzuki is kind of counting on that as well. Do you have any black gear that'll fit in with the rest of the troops? Nah. All right. The colorful one. Okay, wow. All right, well, that pairing brought a good 10,000 people. So one last, and I'm going to start with a heel team. So one last pairing, and the heel team I was already thinking of is a couple of them are fairly new members of the roster that really haven't had like a world title shot or a significant title shot. As you can see, some of their trusts are kind of low. But Kenny Omega hasn't been in the title picture in years. Okay, so we're going to sell this place out at $10. I don't think at $20. So I'm gonna be happy with that, and then we'll have a team of baby faces to go against Rollins. Let me put in this role. So I'm gonna go from the heel faction over to the faces. I'm gonna start with Stan Hansen, who has 100% not been in a trios tournament of terror before, because he's fairly new to the promotion, and the current Noah heavyweight champion. So let's put him in there. Oh, I was hoping he might have jeans. It'd be a good look for him in a death match. So Stan Hansen. I mean, I'm not going to look too far. Ray Phoenix, not a member of a stable, but I'm sure they can be bonded through the blue there. And I need somebody else. Who are they against? Hansen and Phoenix. I love that they can do it. You can do a handicap if you want to. I don't know how they're going to win the 6-man tag team championships, but you can. So this is Rollins, Kevin Owens. Oh, I can actually click on it. Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Kenny Omega. That is a formidable striking team. Hansen, Ray Phoenix for his explosivity. Though he does use a lot of rope moves. I mean, in real life. In the game, I think he's okay with a lot of grapples. Okay, and then the third, to round that out, he's already teamed with Kobashi. Kobashi has had so many shots, so many kicks at the championship can. I'm kind of okay with leaving Kobashi out of that, but I kind of want a big beefy boy in there. In addition to Hansen, I want 2 beef boys and then little Ray Phoenix. I feel it would be a interesting trio. Kurt Angle just won the belt, but we're gonna give him the month off because his neck's already orange. Bailey's too small. Yohei's small. Oh, you got it. The recently defeated Ahmed Johnson. Heck yeah. Oh, in nation gear. That's funny. We're not gonna do that to him, but we'll go. That looks like that's kind of extra red knee pads, and that's just sort of knee braces. Let's go knee braces, I guess. All right, well, that sold us out anyway. That only added 300 extra people, giving Stan Hansen a second partner. They were fine with the 2-on-3. Okay, let's just see how we do. About 50,000 with the $20 price ticket. We're okay just charging, just breaking even on the expenses here. The important thing is that the trios tournament happens. The gold is on the line. We were cleared to go through with this match rules. Pinfall only, no time limit on the match, an explosion countdown to 30 minutes. So at the 30-minute mark, if this thing's still going, I wish I could do 20. To be perfectly honest, I wish there was like an option in the middle to go 20 or 25, because it seems very likely to get to about 20. I don't know if any of these matches are going to get to 30 minutes, but if they do, 3 weapons for everybody to fight over, though the ring itself is a weapon in this case. And the first team to score a pinfall over one of their opponents advances in the tournament. The winners, of course, getting the Trios Championships. 666,000 fake dollars to split. and a title opportunity anytime in the next calendar year. In this case, we only have 2 remaining shows, so a title opportunity for each of the individual winners in the November and December shows. They have one of 2 choices where they want to cash it in. So look for that as some of the main events as we round out the year here. As always, the referees are going to be listed as Sasquatch, but we know them and love them as Mr. Bigfoot. We're going all out with the advertising. Yeah, we're going all out with the advertising so we can fill the place out. A football stadium full of people are about to witness a deathmatch tournament. We do it every year for the final time, the Trios Tournament of Terror card set. Now, whoever we have left over, let's loan them out. First, let's save our game. Let's put them far, far away from us. Let's see if the WWE would like to be invaded by any of our participants. Adam Page is a singles champion for us. He's our Hall of Fame champion, so we're going to leave him in the wings. Dawkins is hurt. We'll leave them alone. Becky's hurt. Darby's okay. Let's see if they want to hang out with Darby. Off Darby goes. Jungle Boy. How about Jungle Boy? Sure. How about Kenta? Anybody that's in shape and not a champion. We're going to ask. Least we can do. Kurt Angle, getting the week off. Kylie Ray, not very popular. Still agreed to it, though. Taking all the help they can get. Mike Bailey. There's our first no. There's usually a couple. How about Yohei? I don't anticipate them saying yes to this. All right, they're going to get Yohei some work. Potentially, Bill Bullock. Bill Bullock's going to WWE for the month. Britt Baker, off you go. Potentially. I'm always just hopeful that they say yes. Amy Sakura. Off they go as well. Yushin Liger. Okay, anybody else? Yes, this whole stable. Awesome's hurt. Taz is real hurt. Hayabusa's okay, though. Hayabusa goes off. Chris Statlander, the only Squared Circle K member not in the tournament. Off they go to WWE. Loading a show like this virtually guarantees that they'll end up doing like a lot of WWE versus GWA matches. And I like that because in those cases, generally speaking, the GWA guys win the matches. So it kind of just boosts my wrestlers better to go invade another show and win without even officially doing a promotional war. Okay, off goes Eddie. And even though I'm playing on hard difficulty, oh, they don't want Bobby Lashley. Very interesting. Don't want Bobby. I'll take William Regal, though. And we'll leave Kyle O'Reilly out of it because he's the Legends Junior Champion. Flamina we're keeping out of it because they's Hoyt. Yeah, so everyone that's left over is beat up or a champ. I mean, Montez. Yeah, we can send Montez. There we go. That was the last one, I think. We were just keeping them off because their regular tag team partner was injured. So let's just take a quick double check. Yeah. Yep, that's everybody. Okay, so everyone that didn't participate in the Tournament of Terror or can't for whatever reason, like previous champion or Boo injured, haha, off to WWE with you. And that leaves just some merchandise to be made. So we have 65,000 people ahead of us. We'll do 10,000 photos to go with our roughly 10,000 shirts and just under 10,000 towels. Blu-rays we'll keep. We'll do a run of 5,000 action figures. General goods, we'll do 20 because we got 60,000 people. These are the cheap stuff for the kiddos. We'll do 20,000 of these as well. Expecting to move all of them because, again, the kiddos, and it's the cheapest branded whatever. Get them like a sippy cup with the GWA logo and some superstar photos on it, etc., etc. I said superstars. Ugh. Some of our wrestlers. Anywho. We also have... Oh, let me do this before I do anything else. Let's see. Can I move somebody up in a stable? I guess if I remove Awesome and Hayabusa and then just put them back underneath, then Taz will be on top. Makes sense. Okay, no affiliation. Awesome, Hayabusa. Back to the House of Misery you go. So now the House of Misery starts with Taz on top. And then we'll figure out, next week I'll figure out somebody to debut as the 4th member of the newly revamped House of Misery. Going from like a hardcore, gothic, droopy emo stable headed by Raven to being a House of Misery headed by Taz, who means like the physical misery that he and the other members of the stable will put you in because of their terrifying professional wrestling technique. All right. I just obsessively save. We haven't invited anyone, so I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about people not showing up for their assigned matches. So here we go. We have managed to book the thing in about half an hour, which is nice. And we are ready for the 6th and final Trios Tournament of Terror. Oh gosh. Kate, thanks again for your bits. For your admission fee, as you call it. That's very sweet of you. And we are underway. Okay, starting us off, the rivalry that will not end. Shawn Michaels captaining a Heartbreakers trio of Michaels, Scott Hall, and the Monster Abyss against, for one night only, the reunited standard. That is Bret Hart, Will Hobbs, and Brody Lee in this barbed wire explosion match. Barbed wire death match as it's listed on the screen, but my word, my word. The only way to win is by pinfall. Winner advances in the tournament. The final Trios Tournament of Terror begins meow. When this thing gets underway, the creature on feature, the head official here in the GWA, Mr. Bigfoot, signaling for the start of this one. And the action is guaranteed to be wild and woolly. Primarily decked out in black and white are the Heartbreakers. In there with, see Bret and Shawn teaming up already. Bret avoiding a couple of attempted throws into the barbed wire wrapped around the ring in place of ring ropes. You can see explosions, those little red bits hanging off of the ropes, by the way, for the barbed wire containment, are explosions. So if the competitors happen to hit those, oh, devastating heart attack there. Down they will go. First pinfall wins this one. It's a little bit different commentary style for me that I can't necessarily call all the action. I'm just trying to try to keep up with this sucker and see how the momentum swings go. As the rivalry between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart is currently center of the ring, continuing forever here in the GWA. Mr. Bigfoot ignoring that submission as they are not a legal means of ending a matchup. The only way to win is by 3 counts, so you have to incapacitate all 3 of your opponents so that they are unable to break up a pin, as opposed to a submission, which could happen immediately. And speaking of immediately, the first time somebody tastes the ropes, it is Bret the Hitman Hart, and he has been busted wide open as a result in the opening 5 minutes of this contest. Doctor bomb there by Brody Lee, trying to sneak and win on Abyss. Just gets a 1 count, and now Abyss tastes the barbed wire exploding in his face. That wound, unfortunately, will not close by the end of the matchup. Bret is going to bleed for the duration of this one. But do not worry, we will get him medical attention following the conclusion of this one. Can't get the EMTs into the ring without dismantling it, which we will do between matches. As we clean the canvas, self-cleaning, as you can see. The blood actually absorbs into the GWA canvas and makes the fight stronger. I don't know how it works, but it's been working for years now. As you see Shawn Michaels taking full advantage of that no submissions rule, just torturing his opponents. Going back to work and back to work on the legs of Big Brody Lee. Oh, and Bret Hart with another heart attack there. With Impact Trios champion partner Will Hobbs now isolating HBK in the corner. Big Scott Hall and Abyss. Abyss with a chokeslam on Bret. 2 and no! Hitman escapes through a haze of blood loss. Hitman thought may have been doomed after that chokeslam. Now Hobbs. Oh! I thought Brody Lee was going for the shock treatment there. Got saved by Shawn Michaels. Bret back into the ropes. I call them ropes, but they are, of course, barbed wire wrapped around the ring. Abyss tried to get tossed into the corner there. Can't do it. Ended up trapped in the barbed wire himself. In goes Brody Lee now. Quite a number of athletes now busted wide open in this. I saw sweet chin music opposite, and Brodie Lee able to get out at 2. Oh, once again, Bret Hart into the ropes. How much more can the Hitman take? All 6 of these gentlemen. And this is just the first match, mind you. We'll get these, I almost said surviving. We'll get the winning / surviving team all stitched up for round 2. Don't you worry. As Scott Hall now trapped in a sharpshooter with nowhere to go. Eventually, I believe Bret Hart just kind of released the hold once he spotted Shawn Michaels. And now in the center of the ring, look at the power of Will Hobbs. Brodie Lee, meanwhile, almost steals the match on Scott Hall. Oh, shock treatment of Bret Hart. We passed the 10-minute mark in this one. I doubt we'll see 20. That's powerhouse Will Hobbs grabbing a sledgehammer. Couldn't get Scott Hall in position to get him to take a swing at him, though. Nice block by Hobbs, center of the ring. Got him! Will Hobbs countered the Razor's Edge, stealing it against Scott Hall. And Bret Hart in the face of Shawn Michaels to tell him that once again, the Heartbreaker's eliminated. Bret Hart moving on. Shawn Michaels' dreams of ruining Bret Hart's GWA career continue to not come true, to abate him, to avoid him, as Bret and the reunited, and it feels so good, standard, take care of Shawn Michaels and the Heartbreakers in the opening round. Hang on one second. Bret, I'm updating my text file that says who wins and all that fun stuff. I'll show it to you after. Okay, I'm not worried about audience enjoyment. I mean, audience at home, yeah, but in terms of like match evaluation percentage, it's not really what this is about. Boom. Yeah, Scott Hall having a bit of a turn later in his career here, though, you know, he never really minded doing the jobs, so. I mean, to the right guys. And I feel like Michael Scott earned it as much as Will Hobbs did there. That was a good clip, by the way. All right. As we move on to match number 2 of round 1, Mitsuharu Misawa and his proteges CM Punk and Jon Moxley taking on the Black Moon Fight Club, headed up by the Icon Stink and his partners, Bison Smith and Luna Vachon, your current GWA World Tag Team Champions. I got a little stuck in my head there because I was just like picturing belts. I'm like, why am I thinking of? Oh yeah, they're the tag champs. Teaming up with Sting, hoping to bring more gold to the Black Moon Fight Club with a victory over Misawa and crew. I'm getting word we got the ring mopped up. We're grabbing a stick of juicy fruit, and we're about to move you. As always, head referee here, Mr. Bigfoot, signaling for the bell, and we are underway. Fresh set of weaponry in the ring. We see the sledgehammer returning and the chunk of table returning, but I don't remember seeing a barbed wire baseball bat there before. That might be a particular ask of one Icon Sting, as he and Bison Smith trying to isolate CM Punk. Meanwhile, that leaves Luna Vachon to get attacked by Mitsuharu Misawa and Jon Moxley. I don't know how wise this is, leaving the more diminutive member, mind you, say nothing of Luna Vachon's toughness, surviving that #1 contendership tag tournament and indeed the tag title match itself to become champion along with partner Bison Smith, enduring a neck injury the entire tourney. She is 100% tonight, and hoping to advance in the tournament along with her Black Moon Fight Club partners here. Audience calling out for a flaming sledgehammer. I don't know that we have the capabilities. Might have to stay tuned for, maybe I'll do a Wrestling Empire stream once. That tends to be their style of weaponry. Ooh! So that spinning kick there to Luna Vachon. Like I said, I can't really keep up with all the action in the ring. I'll sort of try to call the overall story of things, if I can. Nice tight assisted body slam there by Luna Vachon to former world champ CM Punk. Running out of opportunities, as is Mitsuharu Misawa, to get back on top of the mountain. Misawa, the first two-time GWA World Heavyweight Champion, but lost the title in his first defense to a talent not even under GWA contract. Would love to get the opportunity to become a three-time champion and right that wrong. Of course, current title holder is Kazuchika Okada, who we'll see later in this tournament helping to defend the Trios Championships. Himself the second of two-time GWA World Champions in the company's history. The illustrious 9-year history, going the whole 9 and then we're out. Bison Smith helpless, just watches on as his tag team champion partner there getting double teamed with the double powerbomb. Looks like we got Sting and CM Punk in one corner and the tag champs taking on Misawa and Moxley on the other side of the ring. Bison and Luna trying to isolate Misawa, at least momentarily. Now all 6 athletes spilling into the western corner of things. Bison Smith just trying to rip the air out of the lungs of Jon Moxley with that seated sleeper headlock. Hang on, nice face lock there by Misawa, trying to do the same to Sting now, just trying to wrench the face paint off the man's skull. Right back to it. He has tapped out Jumbo Tsuruta with that face lock, as Mitsuhara Misawa has defended the All Japan Triple Crown with it in really real life, as now he lays in a stiff elbow shot to the back of the head of Sting. That'll make you submit in another way. That'll make you submit your consciousness. Oh, excellent point, Kate. We're going to keep our eye on Mr. Bigfoot. Hopefully he does not end up in the wire. It would be heck to get all that fur untangled, and probably quite painful for everyone involved. As now we see an anaconda vice on Bison Smith by CM Punk. That's not going to earn you the victory, but it is going to wear down your opponent. Hang on! Paradigm shifted for Luna Vachon, but Misawa pulls her right back to her feet. Now Scorpion Deathlock on CM Punk, but again, that's not going to end the match for you, and Misawa just casually elbows Sting in the face for it. Just passing the 10-minute mark in this one. Oh, as now CM Punk, the first wrestler to get busted open in this one, courtesy of a Luna Vachon barbed wire shot there. Half and half into the bridge immediately. Got the leg kicked out of him, did Misawa. Oh, big folding powerbomb on Moxley, but he gets out at a no count. Meanwhile, Luna Vachon almost pinned CM Punk in a pool of his own blood. Punk reverses into a roll-up of his own and also almost gets Luna. A Sister Emerald Frozen to Sting by Misawa and Moxley. Hang on, Iron Claw slam broken up by Moxley. Finally noticed some weaponry in the ring. Would have thought he'd gone for that immediately. Double team German suplex, sending Bison Smith end over end. Luna trying to steal a pin on Misawa amidst the chaos. Only gets a 1 count. Now grabbing an arm. Wrenching for all she's worth. Moxley, meanwhile. Discus lariat absorbed by Smith, dropping Moxley with a lariat of his own. As you saw a pair of whips into the barbed wire, coinciding with that maneuver. Rather theatrical. Oh, and now Sting with the barbed wire bat. Oh. Used to carry a black aluminum bat around to keep the NWO at bay. Oh, and a power bomb onto the barbed wire baseball bat. Emerald Frozen by Misawa to Smith. Oh, Luna's there to break it up. An attempt to pin of her own on Misawa. Just gets a 1. Big powerbomb by Sting there, I saw. Misawa at the mercy of the tag champs here. Doing pretty well for himself. Into another Emerald Frozen. 1, 2, 3. Luna Vachon unfortunately goes down. CM Punk checking the time. It's time to move on to the semifinals for Mitsuhara Misawa and co. That's how quick it could change on you. Oh, man. the worst rated tournament of all time, but meh. Some unhappy first round activity so far, but what are you gonna do? All right, this is a pair of first-time teams, kind of thrown together, kind of not. As oh, hang on, let me update my text file first. Text file, got to update my text file. Oh, see, so that also means that in the second round, Bret, Hobbs, and Brody are facing Misawa, Punk, and Moxley. You'll recall that CM Punk won his GWA World Championship by beating Bret Hart in a tournament final. So there's a bit of a story there. Got some history. As we head back to the ring to see Stan Hansen. That's why I tabbed over to the text file in the first place, was to read who's in this next match. So Stan Hansen is captaining a team of himself, Ahmed Johnson, and Ray Phoenix against Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. We get down to the ring. Pow. For some more first round actione. As always, the creature on feature, Mr. Bigfoot, signals for the bell, and we are underway. Got a steel chair in the center of the ring. Barbed wire baseball bat. You see something in the southern quadrant of the ring revealed soon, I am assuming, as Ahmed Johnson there in the red trunks, teaming up with Stan Hansen in the black trunks and the blue knee pads and the black cowboy boots. The third member of that squad, Ray Phoenix, decked out all in blue, the only masked wrestler in the matchup. Gets Kevin Owens in his loungewear, cut-off t-shirt and loose bike shorts, or, basketball shorts. Seth Rollins in long black and red tights, and Kenny Omega in the fancy schmancy long tights. That it's some of his airbrushed ones from his AEW World Championship run. Looked like full gear tights to me. I'll say, yep, kendo stick. You called it. Third of three weapons in the ring there. Both these teams fighting to get out of the first round, semifinals. We get a taste of that finals action. I believe Ray Phoenix has been to the finals before as a member of the, what was then the Doldrums, now known as the House of Misery. Unable to secure a victory at the time. Getting a second chance and a final chance here. Part of these sort of, not quite wild card, but definitely first-time teams. The tournament's 6-year history. Owens getting reversed into the barbed wire. Wouldn't really want to be wearing his style of outfit in a match like this, because I feel like that t-shirt's going to get caught, or would have, if this were really real life, would get caught in the barbed wire rather easily, so you might as well just not bother. Kate, if the ring blows up, I'm pretty sure whoever doesn't get knocked out, their team wins. But if all 6 athletes and the referee are knocked out, I believe the match is declared a draw and both teams are eliminated. Hang on. Falcon Arrow by Seth Rollins trying to do the deal. Can't pin Ahmed Johnson, though, who is covered in his own blood. I should have mentioned earlier. Just blends in so nicely with the rest of his attire. Oh, and back into the ropes once again. Now Kenny Omega serves some as well. Big powerbomb from Kevin Owens. Omega looking to take advantage. Full weight on the chest and forehead of Ahmed Johnson. They're just squeezing more blood out of the wounds. It's little things like that that makes Kenny Omega a champion. Saw Kevin Owens dumping Stan Hansen on his noggin. Now, normally, Hansen likes to hit his lariats off of the ropes. As Ahmed Johnson kicks out of a one-winged angel from Kenny Omega under the watchful eye of Seth Rollins there. But Stan Hansen is going to be unable to hang on. Pearl River plunge in response. Seth Rollins kicks out. And they're going for broke with these matches. Saw a vicious lariat there from Hansen. I feel like Ahmed Johnson's trying to get his moves in while he still has blood in his body. But like we said, don't worry, we'll get him stitched up in between matches. Seth Rollins busted open. Kevin Owens busted open. Once again, half the competitors in the matchup tasting their own blood. Oh, flip pile driver, center of the ring. Seth Rollins planned it, but nobody's there to pin him. Roll-up attempt on Owens, but Rollins is there to counter. V-trigger to Ray Phoenix, meanwhile by Omega. 2, no! Ray Phoenix kicks out of the V-trigger. That's just what it means to win this tournament. The title opportunities contained therein. Get the titles, get that nice payout, get a title shot. Oh, Owens just punishing Ray Phoenix onto that steel chair. Ray trying to use it to his own advantage. I don't know if stepping on the steel chair made that backbreaker hurt more, but it sounded fun. Trio of suplexes, bing bang boom. Big pile driver on Omega. Southern part of the ring by Hansen, going for the cover. 1, 2. Omega out at 2.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, Ahmed Johnson pinned by Kevin Owens. I was looking down to the chat. I didn't see what move put him away, but Kevin Owens jaw-jacking with the fans as he, Seth Rollins, and Kenny Omega will be moving on. I think the reasoning that they don't have, well, I don't have entrances turned on in general. Now we're talking. That redeemed most of the rest of the show. I don't know why that in particular was 94%. Perhaps because it ended with a good old-fashioned KO stunner. But, okay. I generally only record like the overall tournament score anyway, but alrighty. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know how they get in the ring. Maybe there's like, maybe they put like blankets over parts of the ropes and let them climb over. You know what I mean? Like they put a blanket on a big section of the middle rope and then just sort of like, and then maybe like hold some towels to pull the top up, and then you go inside and you take the blankets and stuff off. That's my guess. That's how I do it. All right. We have one more first round matchup to come, and this one features the defending champions. Not only are Kazuchika Okada, Kairi Sane, and Keith Lee, the defending and reigning trios champions here in the GWA. Kazuchika Okada is your world champion, having freshly defeated Kurt Angle. And Kairi Sane is your junior heavyweight champion. So they are hoping to put a stranglehold on the gold here in the GWA by winning the trios tournament. And from what I understand, since you're granted a calendar year to cash in your title shot, if you're already a champion, you can either collect more gold, but if the gold is also in your stable, why would you sign any title match for the last 2 months? So honestly, be a big heel turn by Okada, Kairi, and Keith if they won this thing, because I feel like, with the exception of Keith Lee, who's going to try to win some singles gold, the other two have no real reason to defend their belts. That is, of course, if they make it out of the tournament, because standing in their way, at least in the first round, is Minoru Suzuki, Serena Deeb, and Hiromu Takahashi. Taking on the Squared Circle K, pretty much the owners of this tournament throughout its history. We'll see if they can repeat right, imminently. Get out of the first round. Step 1 begins now. Get out of the first round. Go from there. As once again, Mr. Bigfoot calls for the bell. Everybody decked out in black, so kind of hard to tell everyone apart here. Kairi Sane's got the red armbands and red face paint on, currently duking it out with Minoru Suzuki. Hiromu Takahashi was just paired up with Big Keith Lee there. Who is now Keith Lee there with Serena Deeb. Middle of the ring is Kazuchika Okada in the shorts and Hiromu Takahashi in the long pants and furry boots. There you see the weapons that the teams can fight over if they so desire, but as is the problem / complication of a deathmatch tourney, the ring itself is a weapon. As you can see, surrounded by barbed wire. You cannot escape. All of those containers outside the ring contain explosives that at the 30-minute mark will detonate. I also wish that as a person not in the match, I had like the ability to hit a button and just set it off prior to the time, but that would be just fun for me. As Kazuchika Okada, the current GWA World Champion, busted open badly and early in this contest before even the 3-minute mark of this one. A long night ahead of the squared circle K with the world champ busted open. See how he recovers. You can see him getting a little time and space for himself, trying to clear his eyes. Canvas absorbing the blood to make the fight stronger. Oh, Mr. Bigfoot will be okay. He gets knocked down before, but he'll be all right next match. Like, you can't physically hurt referees. They have no stamina or anything like that. They're just the referee. So they'll be okay no matter what happens. Like, they'll get busted open in matches and then be fine the next match too. So he passed the 5-minute mark here. Very interesting squad Minoru Suzuki has put together to try to counter the squared circle K. Went submission master for submission master, pairing up Serena Deeb and Kairi Sane, but then the wild card choice of a Hiromu Takahashi, that unorthodox offense, but still that ability to not only damage himself, but throw himself in harm's way to damage his opponent. Perhaps that edge that Minoru Suzuki feels they need to finally unseat the squared circle K, in particular, the MVP of the last 2 tournaments, Kairi Sane. Now at the mercy, oh, hang on, now going toe-to-toe with Minoru Suzuki. Into her Croston Crab. Not going to grant her any victories in this tournament. Pinfall only. Submissions do not count. They can still be applied, and of course are punishing, but they cannot end a match. As Okada, still the only combatant to have been busted open, once again tasting the barbed wire, and you can see the puddle he leaves behind every time he's on the canvas for an extended period of time. Oh, now Serena Deeb thrown into the barbed wire and busted wide open. The professor of professional wrestling. We go through her, I don't know, whatever, her mind palace of memories to try to figure out how to deal with that. As now one wrestler on either side of the equation busted open. Kazuchika Okada's been bleeding for a good 5 minutes or more now. Oh, Hiromu Takahashi whipped across the ring there. He's busted open as well, but able to recover against Keith Lee. Okada once again back into the barbed wire. No rest for the weary world champion. As we pass the 10-minute mark, Okada leaving his blood all over the arena here. Minoru Suzuki, the only member of his team not currently busted wide open. And Serena Deeb and Takahashi also lacerated in this contest. It can affect your stamina, your ability to summon strength at certain times to perform certain maneuvers. Didn't hurt Okada's chances to hit that Rainmaker! Got him! Rainmaker by Okada, center of the ring, pinning Takahashi! And the squared circle K move on! Minoru Suzuki can't be happy with that result. Ousted in the first round once again, and the hopes of the reigning champions still alive and well after a well-placed Rainmaker. Okay. Champs moving on. As we have our semifinals set. Beginning momentarily. Let me just save here. As in the first of 2 semifinals, Bret the Hitman Hart, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Brody Lee are taking on the trio of former world champions Mitsuharu Misawa, CM Punk, and hopeful world champion Jon Moxley. The rules are the same. Whatever minor injuries incurred in the first round have been tended to as best they can be, and we are right back to the action with some semifinals. Mr. Bigfoot again calling for the bell. We are underway here. A trip to the finals on the line and a chance to compete for the Trios Championships. Those guaranteed title shots and your share or your team, the whole team gets $666,000, and you get your share of it. However they divvy it up it's up to them. I mean, obviously you go 2-2-2 to make it even, but it's up to them. As you can see, the Misawa influence on CM Punk already, as a tag team Emerald Flosion was just applied there. Other side of the ring, Bret Hart trying to isolate Jon Moxley. Both of these teams understandably battered from the first round of action that has just recently concluded. Wasting no time going to the barbed wire is Jon Moxley getting busted wide open. The early disadvantage to Team Misawa. Evened up by Misawa himself there, as you see Will Hobbs now busted open, and Misawa leaning on the back of Will Hobbs to squeeze more blood out of his forehead. The diabolical former world champ trying to maximize the injury of Powerhouse Hobbs as the two slug it out. Misawa trying to keep Hobbs isolated down on the canvas and writhing in pain. Center of the ring, it seems Bret Hart trying to isolate Jon Moxley till he encounters CM Punk, who sends him into the barbed wire. Thankfully for Bret, he comes out unscathed, at least for the moment. Hard attack there with Brody Lee to CM Punk. Hard to wrestle a smart, scientific match in this much chaos. But you do have to consider your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Not only their wrestling ability, but their ability to swing a weapon upon you. Or at you, I guess. As we've just passed the 5-minute mark, and I expect this to end at any moment, as I usually do during these death matches. Tag team Emerald Flosion to the Hitman. Misawa, maybe with the icing on the cake with that elbow shot to the back of the head. But Bret able to escape the follow-up. Counter with a bulldog, and now a DDT to Punk. Crowd going crazy for this one, at least their vocal applause tells me one thing. We'll see what their survey says at the end of the matchup. I imagine that the in-attendance fans have like a red button and a green button, and then at the end of every match, they have to like pick, you know, the green button with the happy face or the red button with the sad face, whether or not they like the match. And that's where we get these percentages from. You see CM Punk and Bret Hart, former tournament finalists for the GWA World title, going toe-to-toe in the center of the ring as the fight spills toward them. Hobbs and Hart trying to isolate Moxley. Punk and Misawa trying to chop down Big Brody Lee. Brody Lee keeping it at bay, however. Well, I mean, technically that's like a test audience or a focus group or something, right? Like they present you something and you anonymously just hit a button whether you liked it or not. That exists. You have to like kind of find those ads or something. I feel like there's testing centers. Oh no, Mr. Bigfoot has been run into. Knocked over and clearly busted open, but they will be fine, don't worry. Might take them a little longer to get down to count to 3, but we'll get them patched up between matches. They'll be A-okay as Jon Moxley attempts to pin Powerhouse Hobbs and just gets a 2. Emerald Flosion on Brody Lee! No, Brody Lee escapes! Oh, look at the pool of blood by Hobbs. Both he and Jon Moxley pouring blood, just slugging it out. Look at the head and chest of Hobbs covered. Misawa busted open as well as he and Punk double team Brody Lee. An assisted stunner there by Misawa. Big Dr. Bomb to CM Punk. Kicked out at 2. Paradigm shift to Powerhouse Hobbs, other side of the ring. Mox can't get the pin right away. Stuffs him with another DDT attempt. Oh, Misawa just out in the nick of time from that folding powerbomb. Another assisted Emerald Flosion by Punk, dropping Brody Lee on his head. Action fast and furious Nice block by Brody. Bret Hart with a sharpshooter on Jon Moxley. That's not going to win you the matchup. Look at the blood pouring out of the forehead of Jon Moxley and onto the canvas there. The pool he left behind from that sharpshooter. Shades of WrestleMania 12. Oh, I'm sorry, that was WrestleMania 13. Shades of WrestleMania 13 with Bret Hart and Steve Austin. Yeah, 12 was the Iron Man match between Bret and Shawn that was supposed to like crown the era of Shawn Michaels. And by the next year, that was clearly, like by 97, that was clearly not the direction they should have gone. And it, like, they totally were going in a whole different way that turned into Attitude and Save the Company and blah, 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 blah. Oh, Mr. Bigfoot provides his own shirt. We don't like to hinder them. We don't know if it's illegal for them to be in pants or not. Seems to be an old cartoon rule that we're just sort of following. Big powerbomb, Brody Lee once again. As we're creeping up about 20 minutes in this one. Practically a marathon compared to some of the other matches. No end in sight. Blood everywhere. Weapons everywhere. Oh, Emerald throws it to Bret. 1, 2, got him. Misawa moving on. Ending the hopes for the reunited Standard. And Moxley, Punk, and Mitsuharu Misawa are headed to the finals after a trip to the medical room. Gotta get them all stitched up. Okay. We got our first finalists. Sawa, Punk, and Moxley, and we're about to find out who joins them. Will it be... Boom! Will it be the other heel team of Seth Rollins, Kenny Omega, and Kevin Owens? Or will it be the defending trios champs, your world champion Kazuchika Okada, your junior champion Kairi Sane, and also featuring Keith Lee? Let's get down to the ring for the second semi-final. Misawa and company awaiting the winner of this one. Currently watching on a monitor in the nurse's office. We'll see ya down at the ring. Mr. Bigfoot ringing the bell. As you can tell, they've been patched up. And we are underway. Squared Circle K against Omega, Owens, and Rollins. Winner gets a spot in the final against Mitsuharu Misawa, CM Punk, and Jon Moxley. Interesting to see how this one turns out. Will the dominance of the Squared Circle K continue? Have really come into their own in the final year here of GWA in total, having dominated the Trios Tournament of Terror throughout most of its history, especially recently. Okada becoming only the second two-time world champion in our company's history, capping off a very interesting year for the competitor. Waiting until the last possible moment to cash in their title opportunity from last year's Trios Tournament, capitalizing, being successful in that opportunity, and coming into the Trios Tournament as a reigning world champion. Another notch on the belt for an Okada. But certainly an interesting strategy should he and his cohorts once again win this thing. Who will they choose, if anyone, to defend their belts against? The only member without gold is Keith Lee. Would they grant him all of their title shots? He can only capitalize on 2 of them, as we only have 2 shows left after this one. So that all remains to be seen. First up, they got to make it to the final and get past a very potent and deadly Kevin Owens, Kenny Omega, and Seth Rollins. As you see, a golden trigger to Keith Lee from Rollins and Omega. The Anibros. Past the 5-minute mark in this one. Bit of a hush of the crowd at times. Waiting to see if the Squared Circle K can do the virtually impossible and make it back to the finals once again to the Trios Tournament of Terror. Just solidify their stable's dynasty as the most successful in GWA history. The first stable formed in the company, by the way. All those years ago. Oh no, I'm sorry. The second stable formed. The Standard was the first stable formed. The Squared Circle K was formed in direct opposition to the Standard being formed. That's right. Forgetting my own lore and headcanon. Mind you, it's been literally over a year. So we are in week 55. Oh. Package power driver rolled through into the brainbuster to Keith Lee. Shades of Stenerico from Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Meanwhile, Sane's got Omega isolated. That crossed and crab for a moment. Oh, Kairi Sane just realizing she can't ascend to the top rope to attempt that top rope elbow drop. Eliminating her most potent offensive weapon, and also has already rendered all of her submissions ineffective at ending a matchup. And yet, here she is in the semifinals once again with an opportunity to hit the finals, provided she's still conscious. Low bridge by Okada! Almost puts Omega down! That German suplex on the handle of the sledgehammer. Very interesting landing position for Kenny Omega there, but manages to kick out. Oh, and now Kairi Sane, the back of her head hitting the handle of that sledgy. Two of them in the ring. Don't know what the third weapon is. Can't make it out from here. A little sledgehammer happy in the semifinal. Oh, and Okada just got curb stomped! Back up to fight another day, though, as Kazuchika Okada, Keith Lee into the cover! Omega out at 2. Omega, dead center! One-winged angel, meanwhile, Kevin Owens! Oh, he had Okada for a 2 count. Referee getting back to count a 1 on Kairi Sane before she was able to get out. Had Mr. Bigfoot counted the Kairi Sane pin first, that might have been 3. You can see Owens and Keith Lee slugging it out. No love lost between those two behemoths. Owens into the cover. Got him. He got him. We're going to have new champions. Kevin Owens sending himself, Seth Rollins, and Kenny Omega to the final. The Squared Circle K have been eliminated. For the first time in like 3 years. Like legit. The first time in like 3 years. Hey, Rocco. Nice to see you. We're having a good one. You're just in time for the finals. Well, looks like it's going to be a bit of a short stream today. And by a bit, I mean it's going to be a real short stream today. I wasn't expecting the tournament to only take half an hour. Okay, this is all I had planned, guys. So we'll see. Okay, average. Do that space for the average, and then I got space to rate the winner. As we're going to have ourselves a new set of champions. As either Mitsuharu Misawa, CM Punk, and Jon Moxley, or Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens are going to win the Trios Championships, split 666,000 fake dollary dues, and get guaranteed title shots at a time of their choosing, which is obviously going to be at the November or December shows, as we only have 2 shows left following this one. Okay. Rocco, you are just in time for your main event. Misawa, Moxley, and Punk versus Rollins, Owens, and Omega in a barbed wire exploding ring death match, pinfall only. I really wish I could make it elimination. If there was just some way I could make these elimination so that you had to beat all 3 members of a team, but the other members of the team could stay in the match. Like, they were eliminated from the match, but they could still like try to help their teammates. That would be a wild tournament. But first pin wins it for all the marbles. Here we go. I mean, I don't think we have any marbles, but in case we have marbles, maybe we have some thumbtacks. I don't even think we have thumbtacks. Thumbtacks and marbles coming your way.
5,
As Mr. Bigfoot calls for the bell. Here we go, a couple of kendo sticks on display. There's gonna be a third weapon somewhere underneath, but as you can see, the ring itself is a weapon. Barbed wire everywhere, and a double team maneuver to Punk to start it off. Package pile driver into the brainbuster. Mox, Punk, and Misawa against Orton. Oh, excuse me, not Orton. He retired. Omega, Owens, and Seth Rollins. Omega and CM Punk squaring off. Might see that in an AEW ring sometime in the next calendar year. As now it's Misawa's turn to taste that very effective double team, that delicious package pile driver, and that scrumptious brainbuster. Again, shades of Kevin Steen teaming with El Generico back in the day. I don't know how long this main event's going to go. If it's anything like all of the previous matches, could be over in a blink of an eye. Yes, Mr. Bigfoot got bumped into and busted open, but they're okay now. Everything's mended. All good. Oh, Kevin Owens busted open in the opening minutes here. That's usually what shortens these matchups. The earlier you get lacerated, the worse it is for you. Punk isolating Omega. There's going to be some hidden beef between these two. Punk, a former world champion. Partner Misawa, a former world champion. Jon Moxley would love to get an opportunity to be world champion. On the other side of the equation, Kenny Omega, I believe a former Hall of Fame champion, the only gold he's held in the GWA. But Rollins and Kevin Owens have not yet held gold in the GWA, and they are rapidly running out of time. Just 2 shows left. Will they have guaranteed title opportunities as a result of winning this tournament? Only time will tell. Yeah, you're not wrong, Kate. If this one somehow lasted to 30 and everything blew up, that would be amazing. If there was a way I could make that happen, I would do it.
2, 3.
But just like that, Mitsuharu Misawa plants Kevin Owens with an Emerald Trojan, and you've got a 6.5-minute main event. CM Punk checking the time. Crowd seems okay with it, but let's see this low score, probably in the 60s. 54. The worst rated match in our company's history is your main event. And what a stinker. Oh dear. All right, Misawa, Punk, and Moxley getting title opportunities. Yoicks. Okay, that's not gonna help the overall average. Woo! Victoire! Look how it tinkles. Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Right? Everybody wanted to see it blow up. Oh, we just disappointed the crowd at a 78 average. So it's going to tell us what a terrible show we had. But again, that's 2 percentage points away from a successful show. So it's going to say, you filled the place, but they didn't like it. Yep, we got the new champs. Tonight was a success, but the fans weren't satisfied. I'm worried about the next event. Again, okay, 78.7, so really we were 1.3% shy, and we had about 10,000 extra people in the building. I think we're okay. I've never had Bigfoot wrestle. No. They're just a referee edit. Okay, oh, we got new champions all over the place here. Oh, Nick Gage won the GCW belt back, of course. There's only like 6 wrestlers on that roster. Still made over $1 million. Oh, GCW, Nick Gage wins the belt back, and then the company goes bankrupt. DDT's doing a singles tourney. They lasted a lot longer than I thought they would. They legit had like 6 people on their roster. So GCW out of business in November. Randy Macho Man Savage, who was employed by the WWE, just retired. So out they go. I believe he was their champion. Oh, let's take a look at this contract. Sure. Sure. It's not going to matter. Like, we're not going to exist, but sure. Okay. Let's eat. Let's eat. Kate, just for you, I'm going to get out of the fire promoter mode, and we're going to do a death match where it blows up after 15 minutes and see if we can get that to happen for you. Just to see what happens. I can still set it up with all GWA talent and whatnot, but it will be an unofficial GWA match. Okay, so I'm going to do some maintenance, I suppose, since I'm here. Punk wants more money. Let's work on that. Consultation. CM Punk. Oh, the other thing we're going to do is take a look at what happened on the WWE show, because it had a whole bunch of our people on it. So let's do that first. Oh my gosh. Kate! Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Shout out to, let me pull up this thing so I can read it. Squanford, Antoine M.F. Jackins, Dare Daddy, Peltus666, and Yizzle. And Yizzle, I believe, just followed us the other day. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Kate, for your continued support of the Silent G unit. Okay. Save that again. What do I want? Records and help. I want promo stats. WWE. Oh, you know Squanford? Awesome. Results of previous event from WWE. Boop. Okay. So, Ricochet's team lost to Eddie's team. That's Eddie Guerrero, so that's 1-0 for us. Jushin Liger beats Alexa Bliss. 2-0 for us. R-Truth loses to Bill Bullock. 3-0 for us. Shelton Benjamin and Emi Sakura go to a draw. 3-0-1 to us. Kenta Kobashi beats Edge. 4-0-1 us. Statlander loses to Morrison. 4-1-1. Baker loses to MVP. 4-2-1. Jungle Boy beats Lana. 5-2-1. William Regal beats Arturo Ruas. 6-2-1. 10th match. Nia Jax beats Blackwood. 6-3-1. And in the 11th match, Kylie. Oh, that's a half and half, because Kylie's with us. I don't know if we have a Jimmy. All right. So anyway, we were in like every single match and we won most of them in front of. Oh, hang on 1 second. Let me go back there. Oh, in front of 5,000 people in a 15,000 seat arena. Like, we're not even helping them. That's too bad. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Let me do my my other gripes. Who else wants money? Scott Hall wants money. No problem. Take care of it. Consultation. Scott Hall. Little raise for you. There you go. Personal advice. That's it. That's not too bad. Okay, so let's save that. Let's do our regular training center maintenance. We've had the best facilities in this entire pro wrestling landscape and have had them since like the first year. And I think they do a lot to make sure that we don't incur injuries. They can like wrestle harder. I feel like people might be a little more inclined to work here because they know like they're taken care of medically and so on and so forth. Okay, we got our sponsorship contracts and stuff we're still good with. Raven retired, so that doesn't count as us firing anybody. Let's see. Because obviously we're going short. Before I leave the fire promoter portion of this and do that that special mixed, we'll do that special blow-it-uppy matchy for Kate there. I just want to see who I might grab, because honestly, I'm after anybody at this point. Somebody that blends in with Taz, Hayabusa, and Mike Awesome. Somebody who works with them. Could be employed by any other company. Oof, look at all their injuries. I mean, Ruby Riot's not a bad pick, but she's all beat up. I don't really think I want anybody from New Japan. Let's try AEW, perhaps. Ooh, Rabadob's all beat up, too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm obsessive. It's from, I grew up playing like JRPGs and some other things where you had to like save a lot. for like every battle, so on and so forth. And I've had the power go out before where it just like blips out for a second, but that second is long enough to ruin everything. So yeah, I try to make sure that I have everything saved as often as possible. Okay, from AEW. Oof, Eddie's all beat up. Uno's in poor condition. What belts do you have, Lance Archer? I wonder if I can steal you. He's already in Trust S. I'm gonna try just because I think it'd be funny. They have a good relationship with their current company and we're a hard sell, so we'll take him out to $1,000 dinner, and I'm gonna try to give him a maximum signing bonus just to see what they say. No interest. Okay, no problem. So that's strike one. I'm gonna try 2 more times just to see if it changes anything. I don't think it will, because the guy's like has an S relationship with his current company and has a couple of title belts, so I don't think he's going anywhere. But that doesn't mean we can't try twice more, as we have the 3 strike rule in this generation, as we're playing on hard. So let's try another contract offer. Are you sure, Lance Archer? Okay, straight up no interest. I'm gonna skip the 3rd attempt because I'm assuming it's gonna be exactly the same. No problem. I'm just kind of, I don't know, just trying to think of somebody that either like someone that fits in and I can put in as not necessarily like another lackey, but like maybe extra muscle or just like another further intimidating member of said stable. And yes, I am kind of specifically looking to take somebody from another organization. Kate, that's like the lowest end. Taking them out to $1,000 dinner is like the lowest end thing that you can do. I don't think it's gone much higher than 2, but it's generally like 1,000, 1,500, something like that. Wow, look at all these people that don't work there anymore. Tons of them. Yeah, you're not gonna get rid of Ciampa. I don't want Hulk. Let's see. Brody King would work, but he's got a good relationship with him too. Let's try it. You want to come through? All right, that's a no from Brody King. You know what? I should just promote from within. Hang on. I mean, I think that's crazy. $100 plate for a single meal. I think that's wild, but I'm not that fancy. Like it wouldn't have meant anything to me when I had a sense of taste and smell. And certainly now that I don't care. Like you're not impressing me by like getting a full-size dinner plate and then putting a meal that's like this big on the center of it and then like creatively throwing the sauce. Like I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's like food. Like it's just throwing, to me that's like throwing into the face of anybody that can't afford to eat. Like that's just like fashion shows, but that's a whole other thing. Well, you can't afford clothes? Look at us wear the stupidest stuff we can possibly find. It's astronomically expensive and no one will ever own any of it, but we're gonna show it off. Just wasting time and fabric. Okay. What if I do this? What you doing here? How about that? Welcome to the House of Misery, Will Hobbs. Taz, Mike Awesome, Hayabusa, and Team Taz member in real life, Will Hobbs. I'm feeling good about that. I now have 1 babyface too many. Okay. I can't fire anybody. I already did that. So, do I need a bad guy then? Like, sort of. I need to hire somebody who might be a bad guy. What about Damian Priest? Oh, they're all beat up. Oh, they have belts too. Oh, Trust D. Come here. Give me those belts. I don't think they like us much. Okay. That's not a full no. That's a doesn't agree to your terms. I mean, they're the best terms I can offer you. I'm gonna try Damian Priest twice more. Just in the last 2 months of existence, we're gonna go cutthroat. We've been trying to get everybody their belts back and play nice for 9 years. Whatever. Kid gloves are off. Okay. Like, who's the AEW champion? Apparently Matt Jackson has like all the belts. So does Nick. Oh yeah, Wardlow's their champ, eh? Okay. Let's get back over here. Where'd you go? You there. There, I just stole Damian Priest. Sucker! Okay, let me go ahead and add them to our roster. Oh, I gotta remember to bump Ahmed Johnson's pay so he gets up to the $6,000 minimum. Okay, we're back up to a full 50-person roster as we've got another heavyweight. Please welcome Damian Priest from the WWE, now residing in the GWA. Okay, so Taz goes there. Oh, okay. Taz goes there. Will Hobbs gets moved out of this category and put into the House of Misery. There we go. And then under the heels, Damian Priest, who I will specifically point out I hired away from WWE. Hilarious. Okay, welcome to the show. Man Stables, Transfer Wrestler. Just because I'm crazy, I have to alphabetize everything. So, 1 second. Dump all of those to no affiliation. Go to no affiliation. Click on all of them in order. Put them back into heel. So now we have faces and heels still in order. House of Misery has 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. We're all good. Got a full roster again. And let me check these. What's going on here? What belts does he have? All right, so they no longer have tag team belts, I don't think. Cedric Alexander is the world champ, having beaten Damian Priest. But Damian Priest has got something going on here. So Nick Gage and Delilah Doom are still GCW champions, even though the place doesn't exist anymore. I'm seeing if he's the singles champ, if his name shows up on the side anywhere. I wonder if he's WWE tag and 6-person champs. So let's take a look at that belt and that belt. Okay, let's take a look. That's true too. The best food not always the most expensive thing on the menu. Very true. Yeah, so he's a member of the tag team champs and the trios champions. So there are no team belts in WWE anymore because I just took one of their champions. So he can heal up. He's all beat up, so he can't even wrestle until the second month. So he's just going to sit in November. So I literally just brought him to the fold to mess with WWE. Basically, done. Okay. Oh yes, consultation for Ahmed Johnson. Hey buddy, welcome to the 6,000 Club. There you go. Consultation for Damien. What are you making? 14.4? Super overpaid. Don't care. We're only employing you for 2 months. All right. So normally I do that stuff off air, but good to have it done here. We have our stables full again. We have Damian Priest on the heel side of the roster. We'll get them a nice singles match in the December show because they're all beat up currently. And yeah, I didn't have anything planned other than Misawa, Punk, and Moxley have 2 months to decide what titles they want to contend for and how. So we'll see that going forward. Okay, that I will book on air next week as we have 2 weeks left of the second generation of the GWA. That's going to be 2 weeks left of Fire Pro in general. Because when we go to the third generation of the GWA, which is just strolling down the gnarly wrestling aisle, as we call it, I'm going to be playing WWE 2K22 on the Xbox, doing GM mode, which I've never played before in any WWE 2K game or any other video games, to be quite honest. So I'm going to challenge myself to not only beat that mode, but I'm further challenging myself to defeat that mode by exclusively hiring the female talent. Like, I'm just going to hire ladies. And we're going to book the shows. We're going to watch all the matches and call them like I normally do. And we're going to cheer the ladies on to victory overall because we're just trying to be the best brand. So that's going to be third generation of the GWA starting in a couple of weeks. But before we even get there, let's save this. Let me quit the fire promoter part of this. And Kate wants to see the ring blow up. So we're going to show Kate the ring blowing up before we get out of here. Okay. Actually, our roster is kind of unlimited now that we are going back into normal offline play. Okay, exhibition, barbed wire death match. Let's do first. Oh, look at that! I already have it set up with Sasquatch being the referee. Go ahead and see. This is how difficult the comm is. I think the game itself, when I'm doing fire promoter mode, hang on, everything's gonna be the same, except the explosion countdown is gonna be 10 minutes. I think when we're doing the fire promoter mode, the CPU level is something like a 6 or a 7, so I just make it a little tougher. It's not like anybody is going to be in the ring but CPU people anyway, so it just sort of hopefully makes for a decent match. So 10 minutes until the ring explodes, so we should definitely see it. 3 weapons as per usual. Speed's going to be up what it normally is. Everything is pretty much just mirrors what we did during the tournament. Let me just make sure that I'm not involved. So we just put it on CPU against everybody. And the SWA is the default, like, fictional fed. Don't need to worry about that. And then we can pretty much pick anybody in the entire wrestling universe. Let's see. Oh, let's just go Hall of Famers. Just because we're here just to watch the ring explode. It doesn't really matter. I could do current GWA talent only, but let's just go to the WWE Hall of Fame and just hit random a few times. Not Abdullah. Not Yoko. Oh, sorry, that's not random. That's just switching the order. No wonder it's only doing like the first or last person. Hang on. Okay, that is now alphabetized across all different types because it's alphabetized within male, female, tag team, etc. Yeah, now it's alphabetized across everything. And now random is actually start. So let's do that instead. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Come on down. Let's see if we can find you some fun tights. That's as fun as it gets. Yellow boots. He's going to be teamed up with... No. The Road Dogg Jesse James. Sure. If you stopped watching wrestling in the 90s, you might be familiar with them. And the British Bulldog. All right, so we'll just do a trios match, just so to make sure it lasts a good 10 minutes. And we'll see if anybody survives. Beth Phoenix on the opposite team. I'm also trying to go with people that I like. Not a manager, and people that like you, at least I recognize. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Sure. And the Ultimate Warrior. Sure. Here in Big Garden Arena, which is the Madison Square Garden equivalent. Let me just double check the situation here. Speed's going to be up. That's the comm level. 3 weapons to fight over. 10 minutes until everything blows up. See if anybody survives. Mr. Sasquatch, or Mr. Bigfoot included. So here you go. I'm just going to enjoy this. I might even leave myself on cam. Here we go. Down to the ring for this special exhibition match. A couple of barbed wire bats in the ring. Yeah, it feels weird me being in the corner for the wrestling stuff. Hang on. There we go. Same rules as you just saw, only a severely limited countdown timer. Under 10 minutes until the ring blows up. And then we'll see if we can determine a winner at all, or if this thing is just going to end in a flurry of violence in an instant. Brutus Beefcake and Road Dogg, center of the ring. See Greg Valentine with a test of strength there on Beth Phoenix. Now test of strength on the Warrior. Greg Valentine losing that one easily. Valentine, Bulldog, and the Road Dogg. A couple of dogs and their Valentine. Against Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the Glamazon Beth Phoenix, and the sociopathic a-hole Ultimate Warrior. What a miserable human being he was. Anywho, countdown is on. 7 minutes. That's all I'm waiting for. They zoom out and everything when the countdown gets low. You'll see. It's kind of fun. Nice Canadian backbreaker there to Beth Phoenix on Greg Valentine. Impressive display of strength, but all for naught, because there are no submissions in this one. Warrior and Bulldog isolating. I don't know if they ever feuded. It wasn't, Warrior had like a meteoric rise where he like, as soon as he passed the Intercontinental stuff, he was like above working with so many people on the roster, you know? Like once he won it from Honky and then they did the IC versus world title match at WrestleMania 6, he was never working with like 95% of that roster again. It's too bad because there were a lot of people there that would have made him look better than the handful of people he ended up working with. And then his own personal decisions leading to his early exit. Oh, I wouldn't want to be near the rings. Only near the ropes. Only 3.5 more minutes and counting down. Ready if somebody busted open. I think it's Beth. Yep, poor Beth. Bleeding profusely now, but that's not stopping her. Look at her gorilla press the road dog there. Oh, now Valentine. Legendarily, it was always commented that Greg Valentine took 10 minutes to get warmed up in a match. I don't know if they're going to be conscious after the 10-minute mark of this one, because we got 2.5 minutes left until the ring blows up and everybody is all piled up in this corner. That's not going to bode well. The best you can do is try to be in the center of the ring. I don't know what the shadow is in the center of the ring, but maybe stand on that stain, whatever that happens to be. Oh, under 2 minutes now. Oh, unless Greg Valentine sought to end it there against Beefcake. Wouldn't put it past them as we're down to about a minute. Here we go, the 1 minute mark coming up. T-minus 1 minute and rapidly counting down. 50 seconds, 45, 40 seconds, 35, 30 seconds. 20 seconds. There's the counter for everyone to know. 10 seconds. Boom! Only Beth Phoenix died. Everybody else is fine. The match continues. Beth Phoenix down and out though. Referee's gonna stop this one. There you go. Beth Phoenix knocked out. Match stopped. So that means Greg Valentine, Road Dogg, and British Bulldog win because Beth Phoenix was on the other team and she got KO'd by the explosion. So there you go. That's what happens. Either you win the match or the ring explodes and whoever has the most people left standing wins. There you go. Actually, that was an 82%. Huh. I should have done 15 minutes. Oh well. We have no more tournaments. And that will do it for today. A decidedly short stream today. We only went about 90 minutes, but that's okay. 2 more weeks of the GWA G2 as presented in Fire Pro Wrestling World, and then in 3 weeks from now, our glorious 3-dimensional debut with the GWA Gen 3 in WWE 2K22. Okay, I'm gonna get myself front and center for this. Hi-ya! So I can thank everybody for watching, no matter where or when you happen to be. Wishing everybody out there chill vibes and clear skies. And if you find yourself in possession of a plethora of positive energy, please share it if you can spare it. And don't forget about your old pal, the Silent G, Rad Gnarly, saying so long for now. We are going to be back on the air Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for more hijinks and shenanigans in Ark Survival Evolved. Personally, I might set up a few more lights. I might drop a few more fencing supplies, maybe put a gate at the far end of our new area by where the foresty part starts to sort of like try to keep some of the riffraff out. I definitely want to maybe furnish my home that's been sitting up there for ages. Anyway, until then, TTFN, and let's go find somebody to spread a little love to on our way out of here. Thanks so much again, Kate, Rocco. Who else was hanging out here? Kate, Rocco, somebody else was in earlier. Hang on. I gotta scroll up. Oh, Juice was in earlier. Yeah. Everybody, basically. Thanks for chilling. Yeah, Rob was in. Boop. Okay. Oh, there we go. We can go raid bacon on our way out. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Hope we see you tomorrow night for some Ark. I mean, some of you are playing with me, so I better see it tomorrow for some Ark. Don't forget to check for updates. Ta-ta for now.